Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to break down something you use every single day, probably without even thinking about it. We're talking about how websites actually listen to you. We're talking about HTML forms. I mean, think about it for a second. Every single time you log into a service, search for something, or buy a ticket online, you're basically starting a conversation with that website. But how does it hear you? Well, the answer is the humble but seriously powerful HTML form.
All right, let's jump right in. Here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with the absolute basics, the what and the why. Then we'll build up from there, piece by piece, looking at how to get text, how to offer choices, and even some of the more specialized tools you've got in your digital toolkit.
So what is an HTML form at its very core? Well, it is the number one, most direct way for a website to gather information from you, the user. It's kind of like the bridge that connects your keyboard to their servers.
Honestly, the best way to picture it is like a digital questionnaire or a clipboard. Each little box or button is a question designed to get a specific piece of information. And the form itself, that's the container that holds all of your answers together, ready to be sent off in one go.
Every building needs a solid foundation, right? An HTML form is no different. It all starts with a couple of simple but absolutely essential tags that create the frame for everything else you're going to add.
It's really just a simple three-step process. First, you lay down your container, the opening and closing form tags. Second, you have to tell that form where the data is going. That's the action attribute, and how it's getting there. That's the method. A super common method is post, which is great for things like passwords because it sends the data invisibly. And finally, step 3, you need a go button, an input type submit, so the user can actually send you their info.
Okay, now for the fun part, the actual building blocks. The most basic and common way to get information from someone is, you guessed it, just giving them a box to type in.
The absolute workhorse of pretty much every form on the internet is the simple input type text. You see it everywhere, for your name, for a search bar, for, well, you name it. It's your go-to for any kind of short, simple text.
Now check this out. Just by changing one single word, that type attribute, to password, you get a massive security boost. The browser instantly knows to hide the characters as you type, which is, pretty crucial for protecting sensitive info.
And the browser can get even smarter. If you set the type to email, you're basically telling it to do a quick automatic check for you. If a user forgets the @ symbol, the browser will catch it and tell them before they can even submit the form. How cool is that?
And this is where you really get to dial in the details, right in your HTML. You can add placeholder text as a friendly hint, you can make a field totally mandatory with required, and you can even control the character count with min length and max length. These are simple little attributes, but they add a ton of power and control without any complicated code.
Okay, moving on. Forms aren't just for typing things out. They're also perfect for guiding users and letting them make selections from a set list of options. And this slide just nails the difference. On one side, you've got radio buttons. Think of these as your pick one and only one option. The trick is you give them all the same name attribute, and that tells the browser they're part of a group. On the other side, you've got checkboxes. These are for when you can pick as many as you want, like toppings on a pizza. You can have one, all of them, or none. It's totally up to the user.
So what happens when you have a ton of options? Like, imagine trying to list every country in the world with radio buttons. It'd be a disaster. That's where the drop-down menu comes in. You wrap everything in a select tag, and then each choice becomes an option. And the really important part here is that value attribute. That's the actual piece of data that gets sent to the server, which might be different from the text the user actually sees.
All right, so we've got text and we've got choices, but modern HTML has some incredibly useful, specialized inputs that are designed for very specific types of data. These are like the special features you can install.
You can get really specific using the pattern attribute. Let's say you're asking for a phone number. With an input type of tell, you can use a pattern to make sure the user enters it in the exact format you need. 3 digits, a dash, 3 more, another dash, and then 4 more. It's a bit of magic called regular expressions, and it's super powerful.
Need a user to pick a date for their birthday or an appointment? Just use input type date. Seriously, it's that easy. The browser does all the hard work for you and pops up a nice, clean calendar interface. No more typos or weird formats.
And it's the same idea for numbers. The number input is perfect for anything involving quantity. It usually gives you little up and down arrows to make it easy, and you can even set a min and max value. So, No more users trying to order -5 items or a million more than you have in stock.
So what about uploading a profile picture or maybe a resume? For that, you need the input type equals file. This gives you a button that opens up the user's file explorer so they can pick a file from their device. And a pro tip, you can use the accept attribute to hint at what kind of files you're looking for, like just images or just PDFs. So when you put all of these individual pieces together, the text boxes, the radio buttons, the date pickers, you start to realize you're not just writing code. You're actually designing an interaction. You're building a conversation. Each one of these elements is a tool in a really versatile digital toolkit. With them, you can build just about anything, from a super simple Contact Us form all the way to a complex multi-page order form.
And that's really the big takeaway here. Every single input field, every checkbox, every submit button, it's a chance to listen to your user. The HTML gives you all the blocks you need, but the conversations you decide to build with them, well, that's entirely up to you.